our souls choose to have a human experience. Being human gives us that opportunity to experience the vast array of light and dark. Life is full of duality, and being human is our soul's opportunity to experience that duality and evolve from it. Now, I wanted to start with that reminder because in today's human design video, we're going to talk about digestion, and more specifically, where in your human design chart you can find some hints around what it means when you are wanting foods that are considered to be unhealthy. Now, I do want to stress that I am not here to tell you, to direct you what is good or what is bad for you, what is healthy and what is unhealthy, nor what you should or should not eat. I'm offering this video as a tool for some self-reflection as well as a bit of a deeper dive into your human design chart as well as your energy, where you are working with your energy and where you might not be working or pushing against your natural energy. We will be talking about the energy centers as well as your energy type. So if you're excited for that information, please stick around and let's get into today's video. Hello and welcome to, or welcome back to, the Simply CA. My name is Alana, and on this channel you are going to be finding the tools, tips, resources, and coaching that will help you to live your most authentic, most aligned with your unique energy life. We do this through human design videos, human design coaching, yoga and fitness videos, as well as whole food, plant-based nutrition. If you enjoy this content, please give it a thumbs up, click on that subscribe button and the notification bell so you know every time I post a new video. Also, please share this video out. It really helps in the algorithm to do those three things, as well as share it out to your people to get it into the hands of those who need this information. As I said in the intro, our souls have chosen to experience this physical life, and they have chosen to experience the duality of the highs, the joys, as well as the lows, the sorrows of being human. It is part of our evolutionary journey as a collective, as souls. And personally, I have a lot of reverence for this human body as well as for the journey of being human. You might notice in the spiritual community there are a lot of people who don't want to be physically human, but it's true that our souls have legitimately decided to experience the physicalness of being human. So I want to present that as a reminder as we go through this video. Now, as I've been saying more recently, human design is a sum of all of the parts, and there are a lot of parts. So please don't get too overwhelmed. The parts will layer upon each other, and when we look at the whole system is when we can really see some of those intricacies play out. However, as you're just getting going in human design and as you're just tapping into it, personally, I see it as a tool, as a language to be able to better express what we already know, as well as to give us permission for what we already know and to work in better alignment with what we already know to be true for ourselves. Now, because human design, and let's just call it life, is a sum of all of its parts, what we're called towards, what we're pulled towards, is usually influenced by whatever else is going on in our energy. And now this is especially true when it comes to relationships and food and our relationship to food. So what could it actually mean if you're using human design to interact with our environment, with our energy? What could be going on if we feel pulled and called towards what would be considered junk food? I will likely say this a few times more throughout the video. Our souls have chosen to be physically present in order to experience duality. And one of the ways that we experience the joy of duality is recognition of where things aren't as wonderful as aligned. So definitely this is not something to say that the sorrow of being human is incorrect at all. What I am pointing to as we move through how the energy centers can be best expressed when they're optimized is to recognize when you are numbing sorrow, when you are seeking comfort versus when you are experiencing the range of duality. So really what this is about is experiencing all that life has to offer, all that this human experience has to offer in whatever facets you interact with. I am saying that when you're experiencing something, give yourself the freedom to experience it. And we're going to talk about that a little bit more when we get to the emotional solar plexus. So when the energy centers are optimized, when they are doing what is aligned, and please tweak these based off of if you have each one of these energy centers defined, meaning that it's consistent for you, or undefined, meaning that it is open to the experiences of your interactions with others. Now, the root, when it is in alignment, it offers forward movement, forward momentum. It is a starting. There's testing, there's learning, and there's growth that comes from it. And so when you're feeling those sorts of things, that root energy is going to feel optimized and strong and healthy, and it's not going to be stressed out and trying to push through and start something that's not the right time, not the right people, not the right environment, or not for you to start. The sacral is desire, it's creativity, it's creation and expression. And when it is optimized, you will feel that constant rhythm and flow and things being magnetized and pulled in towards your energy so that you have that opportunity to experience and respond if you are a defined sacral. If you are undefined, it is that opportunity to experience through those definitions of others. When that sacral energy is faltering, when it's overextended, there's a craving for something. So definitely acknowledge where you are feeling stagnant and stuck. The solar plexus, the emotions, it's healthy to experience that full range of human emotion. Where we run into trouble with emotions and with our relationship with food when it comes to our emotions is when we are trying not to feel, when we are trying to squish things down, when we are trying to subdue our emotions or push them off to the side. Usually that leads to a disconnected relationship with our emotions and with our food. So notice if you are trying to not experience that full range of healthy emotions, and all emotions are healthy, there isn't a good or a bad. When you're trying not to experience that full range of emotions through squishing it or sidelining it with food. And the spleen is the deep connection to our intuition as well as to our physical body. It is where that fear response resides of the primal physical body. This is also where we have trust in ourselves, where we have trust in our own intuition, where we have trust in our own knowing. And there's a joy that comes from trusting yourself, knowing yourself, and being able to rely on your own intuition. There's a joy that erupts from that. Are you trying to overcompensate? Are you trying to control your life through controlling your food? Is your intuition scaring you and you need to have control of something and therefore you're controlling your food? Allow yourself to identify with and acknowledge your intuition. Listen to that still, small, quiet voice within you. Now, the will or the ego center is not only knowing what you want, but owning what you want. What you desire is not false. What you desire is not outside of scope. You are worthy of what you desire. There's also this sense of accomplishment when it comes to, especially that defined will center, knowing that you are in integrity with yourself when you complete, when you see something through, when you achieve what you desire. And there's a deep connection between how worthy we feel we are and how we interact with our food. The G center is that excitement that comes with being on your path, allowing your life journey to unfold and knowing that the next step is that next step. Again, it's that trust of yourself and of your connection with the universe, and following and enjoying and experiencing your unique path. In the throat, that joy and pleasure comes from expressing your ideas, expressing your desires, expressing what is true on your heart, expressing yourself and your truth. And because that throat is directly connected into that G center, whether there's a defined channel or not, it's there. What we eat can sometimes push down those truths. So allowing yourself to have that open channel, whether that be defined or undefined, working with those channels to allow yourself to express either from within you or from within the collective. The Anya experiences pleasure and joy through creative and flowing thoughts and beliefs. And again, this could be dependent upon having an open, mutable Anya or a defined, fixed Anya. So allow yourself to flow with what is correct for you. And the head is that collective consciousness, the connection to oneness, the connection to the whole. This is also inspiration, and it's also at the top if we are too outside of our human form, floating around, there can be a disconnection that happens there. So keeping yourself grounded, even with that open experience of being connected to oneness, being inspired by the awe of the universe and what that means in the physical form. Now, because food and joy and being human and being nourished is all interrelated, this isn't to say that experiencing these junk foods is bad. In fact, I definitely experience and allow myself to experience the pleasures of junk food. Also, I do recognize that there are times when my hormones are doing certain things and I want the comfort of the sugar, or something isn't feeling right in my life, or I am feeling sad and I want that extra hit of sweet or savory or fatty. There are a multitude of reasons that we can experience those foods, whether they be from a place of awareness and recognition of there's something going on and I feel this desire to experience this pleasure in this form, or whether they be unrecognized, whether they be unconscious, and it is a squishing down, a suppression of something that needs to be experienced and expressed. And when we can bring this awareness, this clean energy to these experiences, then of course we get to have them. Of course we get to experience them if we so desire. Intuitive eating might be trending right now, but it really is that connection to your own energy and to your own alignment that will help you to eat and fuel this divine vessel that holds your soul in its experience of this physical life. Moving on to the energy types. This mostly leans into the Not Self theme, but I'm going to point to a couple other places. I especially want to draw your attention if you are a projector. Because a common theme that seems to come up with projectors is that they overcompensate calories equals energy when they're trying to be generators. So definitely if you are a projector, calories does not always, okay, scientifically calories equals energy. However, spiritually, there are some hints along the way that you might want to investigate a little bit further if you are noticing that you are out of alignment with your energy type. Also, a small caveat here. If your digestion arrow, meaning that top left arrow, is pointing to the left, you have an active brain. It is more intensified and you do require more calories than your energy type peer who has a right facing arrow. So caveat there, just pay attention to that little piece of the puzzle as I move through these next energy type points. Now for reflectors, because you are constantly mirroring back the world around you, notice if you are pushing your way through life. Allow yourself to ebb and flow with the energy. Put yourself in a place that feels good and allow yourself to sample the world, energy, food. It's not directive, so what is correct in one environment or correct one day is not going to be the same day after day. For projectors, notice where you are trying to do the work. Notice where you are trying to fake yourself into being a generator or a sacral being. Where can you delegate? Also, allow people and opportunities to come to you. Don't try to force your energy upon situations and people and environments. That will drain you or it'll leave you feeling empty, and that void is another area where you might decide to fill it with food and those comforts that come from food. So as projectors, really pay attention to where you're trying to be a generator, where you're trying to be a manifester, and allow yourself to live in alignment with your projector energy. For manifestors, where are you not informing? Where are you feeling anger, where you're bumping up against roadblocks and setbacks and trying to pivot and force and push forward, and instead giving up and satisfying those cravings with food? For manifestors, you are here to start. You are here to move things along. And when you're not doing that, that not self theme of anger can lead to more compulsive behaviors, and that could lead to compulsive eating. So really notice where you are not living your strategy, where you are not informing people, where you are trying to push something through to completion when really your part of that job is over. For manifesting generators, notice when you're in your go phase, and this is the same for manifestors as well. Notice when you're in that energy on phase. And notice that in that energy on phase, you're probably going to need more calories. And notice when you're in your rest phase. Notice when you are taking a step back, when you're reevaluating, when you're settling after that go phase, you're probably not going to need as many calories. So trying to restrict your eating when you're energized, probably not great, and trying to maintain a steady calorie diet is probably not the best thing for you, because you do have those ups and those downs, and you do have moments where you require more calories. One of the other pieces for specifically manifesting generators is if you're feeling stagnant or bored, there might be a tendency to satisfy what's missing, satisfy that boredom by eating. So instead, I offer for you to recognize that you're feeling stagnant, recognize that you're feeling lackluster, and instead of moving towards food to negate that energy, notice a creative task. Go out and be in nature. Be physically present in your body in whatever way that works for you, and nourish yourself in other ways. So, I'm not saying restrict your calories, but if you are noticing that you are stagnant and instead of nourishing yourself through creativity and action, you're trying to nourish yourself through food, go out and do something creative and active instead. And for generators, when you are feeling drained, when somebody else is sucking your energy, or you've said yes to too many things, and again, you're feeling that stagnation, or you're feeling that it's a deep exhaustion, and you're trying to boost your energy instead of through creativity, you're trying to boost your energy through calories or through the pleasure of junk food. Notice when that's happening, notice where that's occurring. Say no to the things that are not satisfying you, that aren't lighting you up, and get back into your physical body. Recreate that generated energy. Focus on things that are yeses for you. Go out and allow yourself to respond to things so that you can say yes, so that you can say no, and push those things off to the side. So definitely pay attention to where you are getting your energy drained, and instead of allowing those things to persist and covering them up with food, say no to those things and reconnect with that sacral, enlivened, sparky, bright, magnetic energy. I want to be really clear. If you are hungry, eat food. If you need to eat that chocolate bar because your hormones are a little haywire, recognize it and indulge. It's okay. I'm not telling you to interact with food in a negative or restrictive way. I'm pointing and guiding you towards where else things might layer that can give you some insight into why you might be noticing those specific cravings. And as I said earlier, our human design, our life, our physical being is layered. We are a sum of so many parts, so many stories, so many experiences. So if you need more, specifically more individualized coaching and information about this, you can book a one-on-one human design reading. However, for something as in-depth as this, I would actually suggest ongoing human design lifestyle coaching, and you can find the link for both of those in the description box. Also, please do comment. What is this bringing up for you? What are you noticing for yourself? And what additional questions might you have? As a manifesting generator, responding to the comments as well as seeing the comments and responding helps me to better connect with ideas for upcoming videos. So please do continue the conversation down in the comment section. But if you need more specific, individualized, personal information, click that link in the description and book either a one-off human design reading or ongoing life coaching. And I think that is all I can cover for today's video. Please do reach out, and I will see you in the next one.